Please, don't kill me. No, please don't. Please don't, no. What? Oh, you just want to play some horror games? I tell you what, you have 52 horror games for you. So first is Drop Dead the Cabin. In a remote woodland cabin, players must fend off waves of zombies while scavenging for weapons and activating generators. So next we got Affected the Manor. This experience places players inside a haunted Victorian mansion where they must walk through increasingly terrifying rooms. So next we got Titanic, A Space Between. Set aboard the RMS Titanic during its fateful voyage, this narrative-driven horror game adds supernatural anomalies to its historic setting. Next is Drop Dead Dual Strike Edition. Players blast through hordes of undead in an arcade-style shooter that progresses on rails. Next up we got The Exorcist Legion VR. Assuming the role of an investigator, players confront demonic possessions across a series of standalone chapters. Next we got The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. In this walker-infested New Orleans, players scavenge, craft and make moral decisions that affect the survivors. So next we got Propagation Paradise Hotel. This horror title challenges players to explore dark rooms while searching for missing loved ones. So next we got Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire. Here, players infiltrate vampire crypts and disable booby-trapped coffins without waking their undead occupants. So next we got the Exit 8 VR. Based on liminal space horror, this game places players in a looping subway corridor with only subtle visual cues to guide escape. So next we got Crashland. After crashing on an alien planet, players must survive hostile wildlife using a variety of weapons. So next we got Warhammer 40,000 Battle System. Now not your typical horror game. Players engage chaos forces across war-ravaged worlds. The game combines gunplay, melee combat and psychic powers. Next up then is Layers of Fear VR, more of your typical horror game here. This is a descent into madness that unfolds inside a distorted mansion where rooms shift and twist unexpectedly. So next we got Death Horizon Reloaded. In a viral outbreak scenario, players navigate a research facility teeming with zombies. So next we got Paranormal Activity The Lost Soul. This narrative horror experience takes place in a quiet suburban house. Players explore freely, gathering items and triggering ghostly events. So next we got Wraith the Oblivion. Afterlife. As a newly deceased spirit, players uncover the truth behind their death in a sprawling mansion. So next we got Lies Beneath. A stylized comic book world sets the stage for a return to a hometown plagued by monsters. Players use melee and ranged weapons to survive. Next we got Dreadhalls, which is the typical dungeon crawler that features procedurally generated levels with minimum lighting and terrifying creatures. So next up we got Dead Effect 2. Set aboard a spaceship, players battle zombies and mutants using a mix of firearms and cybernetic enhancements. So next we've got Inverse. One player becomes a monster hunting a team of human agents working to escape. An agent must cooperate to complete objectives while avoiding detection. So next we got Realm of the Fallen. In this dark fantasy shooter, players battle demonic foes in fast-paced combat. Next up is Killer Frequency. Players act as a radio host guiding callers away from a serial killer using studio tools. Every choice can result in survival or death. Now then we got Cosmoredad, which is set in a derelict spaceship. Players scavenge supplies and evade terrifying alien creatures. So next we got Project Terminus VR. Urban collapses and infections set the scene as players escape through city ruins and metro systems. So next we got Death Game Hotel. A sadistic host forces players into life or death escape room scenarios. Puzzles must be solved quickly to avoid gruesome outcomes. So next we got Zombie Reality. This wave shooter simulates a zombie survival game show. Players face scripted challenges with increasing difficulty. Arena setting and scoring adds a competitive element to the game. So next we got Death Horizon Cyberfusion. In this, cybernetic zombie attacks as players progress through procedurally generated facilities. Weapon upgrades and body enhancements evolve each run. Enemies become more aggressive with time and becomes more difficult. So next we got Cursed Night, the house. In 1970s Texas, a remote farmhouse becomes a nightmare of locked doors and lurking threats. Players solve puzzles and avoid supernatural hazards. So next we got Broken Spectre, where players explore a cursed mountain in search of a missing parent. As the player's journey continues, hallucinations and mutated forms suggest a cosmic horror presence, and this one has the added benefit of having hand tracking. Next is Gear Out Escape Puzzle. Finding out and using gears to operate machinery is key to escaping enclosed chambers. Players search for mechanical parts in tense, dimly lit settings. Environmental clues and creepy audio elevates the pressure and the horror. So next we got Last Labyrinth. Strapped to a wheelchair, players rely on a companion to escape a death-trapped mansion. Puzzle requires guiding her accurately and quickly, and mistakes lead to fatal outcomes. Next we got The Twilight Zone. These 3 standalone stories combine mystery, sci-fi and horror in settings such as space stations and labs. Each episode introduces new mechanics like gravity shift or hallucinations. Twists conclude every scenario. Next we got Dead Secret Circle. As a journalist, players investigate murders in 1970s Chicago. Searching apartments and interviewing witnesses reveals clues. Next we got Hello Cruel World. Inside an abandoned research facility, players are subjected to psychological experiments, moral dilemmas, and interaction with disturbing equipment shape the narrative. So next we got The Link. This is a portal to another world that sends players into alien territory to gather resources. Runs are randomized, requiring combat and quick extraction. Collected energy unlock permanent upgrades. So next we got The Signifier. Whilst investigating the murder, players enter constructed memories using advanced neuroimaging. Switching between objective and emotional viewpoints reveal hidden information, and each memory acts as a puzzle. So next we got Remain Alive. This is your typical post-apocalyptic survival that involves scavenging, fighting off threats, and securing shelter. So next we got The Retrieval. Sent to investigate a derelict spacecraft, players restore systems and search for the clues. Circuit puzzles and log entries reveal the fate of the crew. Ambient noise and isolation heighten suspense. So next we got The Link. This is a portal to another world that sends players into alien territory to gather resources. Back on the more mainstream now with Resident Evil 4. We all know Leon S. Kennedy infiltrates a European village controlled by a cult. President's daughter, all that. We all know this by now, so let's just get on to the next one, which is one of my favourite games, which is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2. Now this is set shortly after the original story. This chapter introduces new factions and night missions, including the Axeman. Once again, you have to scavenge, craft to survive. So next we got Stranger Things VR. Players embody Vecna and use psychic powers to influence characters and environments. The setting includes familiar locations from the Upside Down, and the game expands on Vecna's origins. So next we got the Nope Challenge. Now this is inspired by extraterrestrial horror, where players must complete objectives without drawing attention. Looking at the entity can result in failure. Audio and motion cues warn of incoming danger. Next one is one of the most unique ones on this list, which is Hauntify Mixed Reality. This turns your own house using mixed reality into a haunted one by mapping your house and furniture, and as you walk through it, ghosts will appear and scare you. So next we've got Hunt Together, where players cooperate to track and eliminate a dangerous creature. Tools like traps and motion sensors assist in the hunt, and enemies' behaviour varies each session. It's a straightforward one, this one. Next up then is Into the Radius. Exploration and survival in a distorted wasteland, involve artifact collection and anomaly navigation. Next we got Face Your Fears 2. This anthology presents scenes of common phobias like enclosed spaces and the undead. Players solve puzzles and survive set-piece encounters. This game has something for everyone. Now we have Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. This is a collection of horror mini-games that challenges players to repair, monitor, or hide from animatronic characters. We all know about Five Nights at Freddy's, so get on to the next one. Next we got Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue. In this, a group of kids infiltrate a strange neighbor's home to save a friend. Players switch between characters with different tools to solve puzzles. Now we have one of the goated zombie games, which is Arizona Sunshine 2. This sees you surviving in a post-apocalyptic Southwest, but this time you have a dog and multiplayer co-op. So next we have a brand new VR game, which is Trenches VR. This is set during World War I. Player must collect eerie dolls and avoid relentless invincible creatures that stalk them, kind of like Outlast. Now we have Yeeps Horror. Now this is all the sandbox nonsense you come to expect from Yeeps, with absolutely horrific chaos. What more could you want?